We spend so much time talking about the big, flashy features in an app, the cool animations, the main reason you downloaded it. But honestly, what often makes an app feel truly great are the tiny, almost invisible details. So today, we're going to put a spotlight on one of those unsung heroes of app design. I mean, you've probably noticed this, right? You'll have two apps that basically do the same thing, but one just feels smooth. It feels responsive, like it respects your time. The other one feels kind of clumsy, always getting in your way. Well, a lot of that feeling comes down to how an app communicates with you, especially when it gives you feedback. And this is a perfect example of what can go wrong. You just updated your profile, you hit save, and bam, this massive alert just takes over your entire screen. It stops you dead in your tracks. You literally can't do anything else until you hunt down and tap that OK button. Sure, it's good news. Your profile was saved, but the way it tells you feels, well, a little bit rude, doesn't it? And that gets us to the heart of the matter, the feedback problem. Look, apps absolutely have to tell us when something's done. That confirmation is crucial. But when that good news feels like a huge interruption, it kind of ruins the moment. It turns a successful action into a frustrating one. So let's break down exactly why these old school alerts can be so annoying. First, they block everything. You can't see the screen behind them. Second, they totally shatter your concentration. Maybe you were about to tap on something else, but nope, you have to deal with this pop-up first. And finally, they make you do extra work. You have to tap it to make it go away, and all those extra taps really start to add up. So if that old way is so disruptive, what's the alternative? Well, this is where a much more polite, much more modern solution comes into play. It's time to meet the hero of our story, the toast message. And yeah, it gets its name because it kind of pops up from the bottom of the screen, just like a piece of toast from a toaster. And here's the official description. A toast is a short, temporary message, but this is the most important part. It gives you feedback without interrupting what you're doing. It delivers the confirmation you need and then just politely gets out of your way. It's a design that trusts you'll see it, and it doesn't demand your immediate attention. Okay, so how does this polite little message actually work as magic? We're going to take a quick peek under the hood here, but don't worry, we're not getting into any code. We're just going to look at the simple, clever logic that makes these things so darn effective. It's really just a simple four-step cycle. First, you do something, like saving your profile. Second, the toast pops up with its message. Third, a really short timer, maybe 2 seconds, kicks off automatically. And fourth, it just gently fades away. All by itself, no extra clicks needed. It's like a self-cleaning feedback system. All right, now for the real aha moment. Let's put these two approaches right next to each other so you can see just how massive the difference in user experience really is. This is where the simple elegance of the toast really shines. I mean, look at that contrast. On one side, you've got the old way, the alert that blocks your screen, forces you to tap it, and just feels disruptive. And on the other side, you have the better way, the toast, which shows up discreetly, goes away on its own, and makes the whole experience feel totally seamless. It's the difference between someone shouting in your face versus giving you a quiet, reassuring nod from across the room. This quote from the source material just sums it all up perfectly. You're swapping out a roadblock for a quick, helpful hint. You're giving the user the exact same information. Hey, that thing you did worked, but in a way that respects their focus and their flow. It's quick, it's clean, and it's just so much more efficient. Now, this doesn't mean that toasts are the answer for absolutely everything. Of course not. Great design is all about knowing which tool to use for which job. Toasts are fantastic for one specific type of message, but there are other tools in the toolbox for other situations. And this table lays out the difference perfectly. You use a loader, that little spinning wheel, when work is happening. It's the app's way of saying, hang on, I'm working on it. But you use a toast when the work is done. It's the confirmation that says, all set, that thing you asked for is complete. So one is for the process and the other is for the result. Simple as that. And really, that's what this all comes back to. An app that uses polite toasts instead of jarring alerts just feels more professional. It feels more responsive. It shows you that the people who made it actually thought about your experience. They respect your time and your attention, and that respect shines through in thousands of tiny, thoughtful decisions, just like this one. So, the next time you're using one of your favorite apps, try to look for these little things. Notice the smooth transitions, the helpful, quiet feedback. It really makes you wonder, right? What other small, user-respecting details have you noticed out there that truly separate a pretty good app from a genuinely great one?